Jesus stands trial, Mark 14:53 through 65. Mark 14:53 and 54. They took Jesus to the high priest, and all the chief priests and elders and teachers of law came together. Peter followed him at a distance right into the courtyard of the high priest. There he sat with the guards and warmed himself at the fire. In Mark 14:53 and 54, the trial by the Sanhedrin had two phases. A small group met at night, and then the full Sanhedrin met at daybreak. They tried Jesus for religious offenses like calling himself the Son of God. According to the law, this was blasphemy. And the trial was fixed. The religious leaders already decided to kill Jesus before the trial even ever started. In Mark 14:55 to 57, the chief priests and the whole Sanhedrin were looking for evidence against Jesus so they could put him to death, but they didn't find any. Many testified falsely against him, but their statements did not agree. Then some stood up and gave false testimony against him. The Romans controlled Israel. The Jews were given some authority over religion and minor civil disputes. The Jew ruling body, known as the Sanhedrin, was made up of 71 of Israel's religious leaders. People thought or assumed these men would be just, but instead it was actually the opposite. They showed great unjust in Jesus' trial. They even made up lies to use against him. Mark 58 and 59. We heard him say, "I will destroy this temple made with human hands, and in 3 days we'll build another, not made with hands." Yet even then their testimony did not agree. With this statement, the false witnesses agreed to use it as an accusation and twisted Jesus' actual words. See, Jesus didn't say, "I will destroy this man-made temple." What he actually said was, "Destroy this temple and I will raise it again in 3 days." Jesus wasn't talking about Herod's temple. He was talking about his own body. Mark 14:60 through 65. Then the high priest stood up before them and asked Jesus, "Are you not going to answer? What is this testimony that these men are bringing against you?" But Jesus remained silent and gave no answer. See, Jesus didn't answer or reply to the first question because it was based on confusion and mistaken evidence. Not answering was wiser than trying to explain or clarify the fabrication of accusations. Jesus had to answer the second question because it could have been taken as a denial of his mission. Mark 14:62. Again, the high priest asked, "Are you the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed One?" "I am," said Jesus, "and you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven." Instead, in Mark 14:62, Jesus' answer predicted a powerful role reversal. Sitting on the right hand of power, he would come to judge his accusers, and they would have to answer Jesus' questions. (63 through 65). The high priest tore his clothes. "Why do we need any more witnesses?" he asked. "You have heard the blasphemy. What do you think?" They all condemned him worthy of death. Then some began to spit at him. They blindfolded him, struck him with their fists, and said, "Prophecy." And the guards took him and beat him. After Jesus answered, the high priest tore his clothes and shouted to the court, "You heard the blasphemy. What do you guys think?" They all condemned Jesus, worthy of death. The people spit on him. They blindfolded him. They punched him. After all that, then the guards took him away and beat him more.